by their side. I pray you catch a wave that doesn't subside. This for the nappy heads in heaven. May your streets be paved with gold. Yeah. Hope my whole hood make it home. Yeah. May your streets be paved with gold. Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey.
So listen, last week, for actually I go there, Toby Wigwe, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, just dropped a brand new album. That was a single from his album. The whole album is fire.
Yeah.
Shelby, we just got hip to it a little while ago. But look, last Sunday, I promised that we were going to have a special guest join us this week. And look who showed up as a special guest.
Hey.
And we are purposely matching. I saw her shirt, I changed my shirt. Happy wife, happy life, right? So this is my better half. You guys have heard me talk about her so much throughout the, I think, 11, 12 episodes we're in. This is my ride or die, my rock, my dream girl, my everything. She means so much to me, and so I'm glad that we had her join us today. And it's funny because I was going to go on a different topic this Sunday, but Shelby thought it'd be good if we talked about grit, right? So I wanted to tee that up. Today on leadership, again, we're still 10 minutes or less. We're not going past the 10 minutes. Although we have yours truly, we're going to keep it less than 10 minutes. So Shelby, when we think about grit, actually, you may want to introduce yourself to the people.
Let me introduce myself to the people. So I'm Shelby. Post-college, I have been all things education. It is my life's work, along with outdoor advocacy, environmentalism, specifically in communities of color and low-income communities. And grit is just something that has been huge throughout my work, throughout the work that we do. And so wanted to delve into that because I think it deals so much with leadership. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's who I am. Oh, currently running a website that is all things slow living, advocacy, and nature-based living. So, yeah.
And what's the website?
Shalom and Pole Pole.
Shalom and Pole Pole.
Yes, sir.
So a couple episodes back when I talked about resting, so the link and everything is there in the video. I gave a quick plug to Shalom and Pole Pole. So definitely be sure to check it out. It's a great website. A lot of tactical stuff that you can be doing and a lot of good content and reading around the importance of slow living and resting and being out in nature.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So when we think about grit, Shelby, what do you think? Yes, sir.
So the reason I think it was really important is that while looking at studies, so on my Instagram, a lot of times I'll give like tips for educators, whether homeschool or teachers. And as the year was gearing up, I realized I am missing something huge here, and it has to do with grit, right? Grit for us as adults, but especially for children. I think one of the reasons that play-based, nature-based schooling is so huge and something that we've leaned towards for our boys is the idea of seeing a problem and being able to find a solution. When they look at success of humans, they're literally able to predict it, not based on your SATs, not based on your grades, not based on your talent or your skill, but on your grit, your ability to be able to maneuver a situation. And I do want to pause quickly and say, as someone who learns from my faith and indigenous cultures and the outdoors, grit is not the same as conquering and being in control, right? That is not the same. I think oftentimes we look at it and we're thinking of the conquer element, the control element, and a lot of times it's honestly this harmonious thing. It's about seeking peace amongst all, right? So even when we look at outdoors, grit doesn't mean I'm conquering this mountain, right? It's about looking at the elements and seeing how it all flows and how you yourself can thrive in that. So that's what we're talking about with grit. But thought it do well with you because you
Yeah.
are one of the grittiest human beings I know.
No. Thank you.
Yeah.
So talk about from a leadership perspective,
Yeah.
why is this notion of grit? And I'll share my thoughts on what I think grit is, and where I've tried to utilize it within my own life. But as a leader, why do we need leaders to be gritty?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Oh, I didn't practice this part, but I'm gonna throw it back at you.
Okay. All right. So listen. Here's why I think
Yes, sir.
Leaders should be gritty. So it's interesting. So when you're raised, when you're taught, even just when you think about just society in general, you typically look at the people who scored the highest on the test or who had the certain type of education experience, going to the best schools, going to the best private schools, education the whole way through, like college, the whole thing. And it almost feels like there's a formula of what success looks like. And so, if you score the highest on the test, you do all your homework, you get into the best high school goes to the best college, graduate from college, you get the best job, paying the best, highest money, all that kind of stuff.
Man.
So we oftentimes think of it like this formulaic kind of thing. And the thing that I think about when I think about grit is like, it's a disruptor. And what I mean by that is you can have all of the bells and whistles, I'll call them, all of the statistics and all that kind of stuff. But there has to be something rooted deeply inside of you, that when resistance comes, when adversity comes, when life throws you whatever challenge it throws you, you have to have something within you that's burning with this deep desire, passion to press through, right? And for me, I think that that's an element that can't be packaged or formalized up. That's within each of us. And I would argue that that's my definition of what grit is.
Absolutely.
Right? So when Shelby explains to you all that, and I take that with a lot of honor and respect that she said that about me. I've always tried to be gritty. And I didn't even know what the term was. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of doing my thing. I always knew that I wasn't the smartest. I was an athlete back in the day. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the biggest. I want none of that. But the thing that I always tried to do would be like the work and work hard and try to work harder than everybody else, right? And I carry that with me even still to this day as an executive, where I'm in meetings with a ton of people who are smarter than me, who get paid more than me, who are at higher levels than me, whatever than me. But in that environment, I still feel like there's something burning within me that can make me that much stronger, sharper. And I think that goes back to grit.
Yeah, because listen, your definition is right on. But I think like Mike doesn't want to toot his own horn, but at the end of the day, Mike was literally, I tell him all the time, the first 17-year-old I know that like got a flat and literally pulled over, like fixed his tire, walked to the gas station. Like he just always knew how to figure it out. And I want to just give a huge affirmation right now to his mom, who Mike tells me, like, my mama used to be like, yo, figure it out. If you knew how to get there, you know how to get back. And I think like that is a part of parenting that is often missed, especially today. It's so easy to hover or become a helicopter parent. And rightfully so. We are seeing stories all day about like things that can go wrong. But right. And also the pressure. It's so much pressure for your kid to be at the best schools and get the answer right and the best grades. And so it's easy for us as adults to be like, let me figure it out for you. And that then takes away the space for your child or your student to figure it out. And there is a beauty in being the person. And like we said, Mike is that human that I have always felt was able to figure it out. And that is the difference so many times between those who are successful and successful just meaning successful to get to where they want to go, versus so many of people who are not able to, regardless of the setup, right? Is that ability to be able to like consistently work through things, how you can make sure that your kid does that right. Because I know many of us are like, wait, I don't want to give my baby problems. But I will say one of the things that you can continue to do is allowing for your child, allowing to your loved one, allowing for people to figure it out. Hear the issue, like observe, but also being able to stop and be like, okay, I know the answer, or I think I know my truth, but I'm going to allow you the space to figure that out, because that's what will help them when they reach whatever goal they are trying to go and get.
Yeah. So listen, we covered a few different areas.
Yeah.
We covered grit from I say an executive educational perspective, and Shelby's sharing more around like humanity and also children.
Yeah.
And as parents, we all, and you got a lot of parents who listen into this, as parents, you always want to hop into a point and try to help fix the thing for the kid.
Yeah.
And what we're saying is we feel like that's limiting, right? We think there could be another approach of allowing them to figure things out a little bit for themselves, so that they can come up to the conclusion or the understanding of what it is they're supposed to understand and put together in that process, right?
Yeah, no, and I think that's totally fair. I think that goes for children, of course, because that's probably our number one person we do that to. But I think it happens in partnership, it happens in business, it happens in, and like I said, in humanity, being able to see someone go through something. And that doesn't mean not give resources, but allowing them to figure it out, because, hey, through their figuring it out and it unfolding, it may bless you. It may help you learn something new. And I think that's something that Mike and I have done as we've grown up together, really, is allowing one another the space to figure it out. Like, yo, I hear you. That sounds really tough. And I got you. But also here is space for you to navigate that in a way that feels right to who you are. And so,
that's it.
Yeah.
So listen, I said 10 minutes.
We went a little over, but give us a little grace.
Here's the deal. I gave you a little 3 or 4 minutes of music in the beginning. Yeah. So when you add it all up, it should be about 10 minutes. All right. So it's short, brief, to the point. We covered a little bit of ground. Ultimately, grit is a determining factor as you think about being a leader. It's important, it's critical, it's valuable. Until next Sunday, we bid you adieu. Yes. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll connect back with you on Sunday.
I want to come back.
We got to see what's up with her. We got to see how y'all react to her. All right? Salute.